Hello guys, and welcome to another video. A story time this time. I really wanted to make this video, but I was hesitant mostly because I didn't want to go through all the footage because lately I've been missing Scotland so much. But I decided to do it. But I tried to suck it up, and you know what they say, don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened. So yeah, as you already know from previous videos or from like my stories on Instagram if you follow me there, my flight got cancelled like 5 times. I booked a flight in the end of March, and during April and May it was keep getting cancelled, and at that point I just get used to the fact that I was gonna stay there until the whole thing is over. And I booked another flight like a few days prior with another airline, and it looked like it was gonna happen because the same airline was doing flights once per week and they were all operating normally. So I was like, yeah, it was a bit more expensive, but it's not about the money, it's about like going back. And yeah, so on June 6th I packed everything, said goodbye. I don't know why I always do this when I leave a place. I wave goodbye at everything. I still can't believe I lived there for 9 months. Now that I'm back in Greece, I find my life in Scotland so bizarre, like a fever dream. I don't know. It felt like my longest trip ever, and honestly, even though I didn't do all the things I wanted because of the pandemic, I'm so glad I made the decision to move abroad. If you consider it, I 100% recommend it to you. Not now, obviously, but you know. So I said goodbye to my landlord, who is the sweetest lady I have met there, and she told me that I can stay there if I ever decide to come back traveling. She told me that she's not gonna rent the house anymore, so that makes me the last tenant of hers, of this house. It was really sad watching Aberdeen for the last time, when it felt like almost yesterday that I came there, trying to get used to the Scottish lifestyle and the weather and the neighborhoods and all. Truly, it's bizarre now how time flies. So enough with the sad talk, because this video is supposed to be fun since my journey back home was hella crazy. So sit back and enjoy this story time, because the best has not started yet. So my flight was on a Monday, but I went to Edinburgh 2 days prior because I wasn't gonna leave Scotland before visiting Edinburgh, and a pandemic wasn't gonna stop me. I'm not gonna include the Edinburgh vlog. I have uploaded a video just with that, so if you're interested, I leave the link somewhere here, I guess. So I took this really fancy and fast train, like holy shit, look at the toilet. The journey was really quiet, not so many people were on the seats, which was great. One of the few good things the pandemic did, because I've seen people on trains in England so crowded, and it reminded me of these Greek buses in the middle of the day, in the heart of summer, and it's... So this was the room in the only hotel that was open in Edinburgh and had a restaurant underneath. What's the thing with the below ground floor houses and restaurants? I really don't get it. It kind of looks depressing, and honestly I haven't seen anything like this until I visited Edinburgh. So do you have this in your city where you live? I don't know, it kind of looks weird. The city was completely empty, and I loved every second of it. Even the food was nice since everyone was eating out on the ground in parks. I went and ate some Greek food at the Meadows, that was how the area was called, and it started raining at that point, so I went under a really big willow tree, and it was like having a picnic by this beautiful park under the rain, and there were a lot of people around, but you know, in the distance, and it was really good. And yeah, so 2 beautiful days have passed, and now it's time for the airport. I was flying to Paris that night and from there the next day to Athens, where I was gonna get the COVID-19 test. Spoiler, it came negative. At least I hope. They told me that they'll call me if it comes positive. They didn't call me, so I guess that's no. It feels like if it feels like getting rejected from a job, you know, if it's negative they don't call, then you don't know what happened. I've never seen an airport this empty. I was really stressed about this beforehand, but seeing how empty it was, I kind of relaxed. Also, the flight wasn't full, so there was a lot of social distancing happening. Of course, wearing a mask was mandatory, which was fine, but it was hella hard to do in Greece because it was so warm and humid and I couldn't breathe. So I said my final goodbye to Scotland, to the UK in general actually, and finally landed to Paris, which luckily I visited in the past because that day it was my birthday and I was dying to go out, but of course we weren't allowed to, which I get. So at that point I met some guys and girls who were in the same situation as me. They were locked in the UK for months and they wanted to return to Greece, so we kind of shared the same story and we started hanging out and moving as a group. So it was really nice if someone wanted to go to the toilet, the others would look out for their stuff and things like that. So first thing we did was find food and water, since we were gonna spend the night at a half-operating airport. Now, I've always defended the French when it came to topics about language, because when I was in Paris 4 years ago, everyone was trying to speak English and was trying to help, you know, even though they didn't know English that well. And the group of friends I have at that time, they were all talking shit about friends being rude, and I was still defending them, but oh boy, that was gonna change soon enough. So basically I'm not gonna blame the staff for how badly we were treated at the airport, because I get it, it's a weird situation, no one was trained for that, no one was prepared for that, and I know the staff wasn't given the right information on how to deal with this, but it's still kind of shit that no one knew what to do, there was no person in charge. So basically what happened was we were on this terminal that we arrived and we were gonna leave the next morning from that terminal, but that terminal, try drinking every time I say terminal, and that terminal was closed for the night, so we had to get out of the airport, do the check and go somewhere else, wait with open stores so that we can eat something and maybe sleep. And in the morning, in the early hours of the morning, we had to go through the terminal again, get checked for a third time, which was unnecessary. It's fine, okay, I get that they didn't want to operate the whole airport because there weren't many people. They managed to do the one thing they didn't want to do. They gathered so many people in an area. I mean, we were all wearing masks and all, but it was still dangerous. There were so many people waiting in a line and no one knew what to do. And the staff didn't want to speak English at all. They were like, oh, monsieur, croissant and everything. At some point I was like 39 hours asleep when I returned back to Greece. I didn't eat well, I only ate chips and things like that. I needed to get a shower, brush my teeth. It was, yeah, when you're in this situation and the other person is speaking a language you don't understand, and even though you tell them to speak in English, they still don't do it and they look like they're ignoring you. I'm sorry, but we kinda get mad. It was a really tough night, but yeah. So anyway, that's how I spent my 24th birthday, in an airport, in Paris, eating snacks by myself and watching Harry Potter with my friends on Discord. At least I got snacks before everything closed for the night, because at some point during the night I had people coming next to me asking me where I found the food, and I was like, over there on that deli little thing, which this is another story. Fucking airport food is so disgusting and so expensive. I paid 30 euros for like 3 sandwiches, a can of Pringles, like water and some biscuits, like 30 euros. This is how much I give when I go to the supermarket to buy stuff for a whole week. So anyway, I get it, it's airport, but they fucking closed the supermarket, the thingy. So a lot of people didn't have food, and they were kind of walking around me like vultures, and I was like, no, Joey doesn't serve food. You should have think about that beforehand, as I did, okay? So I didn't want to sleep. There were some beds that were given. They look like these sort of things you have on the beach and lie down. I don't know how they're called in English. In Greek we call them xaplostres. And yeah, I couldn't find any of this because of course people went crazy and got everything. But I managed to find a table. I bought a lot of hand wipes. There were wipes for surfaces because I wasn't able to find, not even in Aberdeen, not even in Edinburgh, I wasn't able to find hand wipes. Like, don't people in the UK use hand wipes? Like, what the fuck? So I only bought these surface wipes. They were big enough, and I used them to clean my hands every time I touch something else. Clean the table, clean my laptop, clean my phone. I also had the liquid, I can't find the word now, sorry. And yeah, I was doing this all the freaking time. My hands were starting to get irritated. The airport looked like a school summer camp that night, not gonna lie. You don't see such things often, like ever. The flight to Athens was a little bit more than crowded and made my health anxiety worse, but it wasn't long enough, and finally I was back home, baby. Not quite yet though. I had to do the COVID-19 test and then take the train to my city. We were informed beforehand that when we arrive to Greece we're gonna get tested, and then we're gonna spend 24 hours in a hotel until the results came out. At that point we were so stressed because we saw online a lot of people who did this few days ago. They were complaining the hotel situation is really bad because of course there are a lot of people who are coming from abroad, a lot of Greeks, and it started to go out of control. The rooms were unclean. Sometimes the staff forgot to feed all these people. So once we arrived at the airport in Athens, we were informed, like the first thing they told us was that you're not gonna go to that hotel, and everyone after you is not gonna go to that hotel either, because I'm assuming it was full of people, and it's starting, if all these rumors that we heard were true, the hotel was gonna be full with journalists and the media and stuff. So they wanted to avoid that, and they said, yeah, you'll get tested, you leave us all your information, we'll call you if you're positive or if anyone in your flight was positive, and just fuck off basically, which was the greatest news I've heard that day, honestly, because after the test, which I'm gonna talk about it in a second, we took the train and went to our fucking cities finally. So yeah, the test. So basically, I don't know what types of tests are out there at the moment, but the one we did was basically they have this long thingy and they put it at the back of your throat and it kind of activates your gag reflex. So everyone in the area that was being tested, you could hear all these noises, and the woman who did this to me was really nice and fun, but she kind of scratched the back of my neck, and for the next hour I was coughing all the time because I felt like I had something in my throat. We kept meeting a lot of people while we took different trains to go to our city finally, and it made me realize, like, whoa, I'm not in the UK anymore. Because Greeks are very talkative and they're very loud, and on the train there was this middle-aged man who bought us beer and water because we only had pounds on us and the credit card, and the train only accepted cash. And it was really nice, like proper nice. I kind of miss this kind of hospitality and friendliness Greeks have, which it's weird coming from a person like me. I'm a very cold person. I really belong to the north, honestly. But being away for so long and not being able to return, I kind of missed all these things. Obviously now I am a month and a half in Greece again, and I'm starting to get tired of it and I want to go back, and I don't know what I'm gonna do. But yeah, that was my crazy story of how I returned from the UK to Greece, going from Aberdeen to Edinburgh to Paris to Athens and finally to Thessaloniki, which is my home city. And yeah, it was crazy. I fucking spent my 24th birthday in an airport in Paris. Like, oh my god. That's a fun story to tell, am I right? Yeah? No? Anyway, leave a comment below if you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you want more story times like this. I mean, nothing cool is happening in my life right now, but I don't know. Let me know. See ya. Bye!